Hey guys, this is Echo Sours, and you're checking out a production tip and trick tutorial video. In this video, we'll be checking out how I made the kind of chopped up chord feel to one of the demos from our pack, Grey Area. So I think it's funny because you guys, I got a good amount of questions on social media, YouTube, and even some emails asking how I did this. And it's funny because it's like the shortest demo in Grey Area, but you guys asked, so I thought I would show you. Now, for those who have not heard the demo, this is what we'll be working with. All right, so you get the idea. Now, the tracks in question are these three tracks right here. You'll notice right away that they are all audio. I did not do that to save processing for the video. That's actually how I needed to do some things so I could see it and hear it and actually chop it up. So that's a big part of the sound. But let's start from the beginning. So the first thing, the main patch, it is a patch from Grey Area called Chord Chill Out. It sounds like this. So when people think about layering feature-based chords, they think about frequencies, right? Well, take it a step further. Think about how that sound is actually playing out in space to our ears. This sound has absolutely pretty much no attack, and it has a lot of sustain, right? If I just hit a chord, it's just there. It's in your face, right? Now, the other chords in this drop aren't like that. They're actually different. So I am thinking about frequencies as I'm making this, and I'm ultimately going to chop things up. But I'm also thinking about how they play out to the ear. Now, what I did was I on this track, this MIDI region, I added some sidechain compression. Now, a big part of this is sidechaining to a ghost kick and not the actual kick you hear in the drop. The kick you hear in the drop happens basically just on the one of every bar, right? So if I play this, so if I sidechain compress this to that, we'd only get gain reduction on start of bar 9, 10, 11, 12. So what I did was I created a ghost kick. A ghost kick is simply a track that has a kick on it, a kick sample, that the output is muted. So your DAW hears it, you do not. And then I used a compressor and told the compressor to only turn on when that kick hits. So you can see here with this yellow track that the gain reduction is going to be happening a lot more often, right? There's this kick here, and there's some interesting spots, actually. For instance, this third kick or fourth kick hit happens partway through my third chord, right? It doesn't happen at the start. So it adds some kind of movement that isn't there. Then after I had that set up how I wanted, I bounced it to audio, and that's what you see here. All right, now once it was in audio, I started to chop up the endings a little bit. So you can see here that if I take this region out, this actually extends further. Now I do have a ghost kick here, which in theory reduced the gain reduction, right? But I was like, screw it. I want to just completely cut that out. And you'll notice that I did that at a few different points. If you look at the initial MIDI region, which is right here, you'll see that the chords kind of extend the whole way through. But up on the audio regions, there's more noticeable cuts with what you're seeing, right? And this should be cut right here so you guys can see it. So there's gaps. It kind of, it plays along with the kick and the snare. Now, after I did the cut, I added some more sidechain compression to the ghost kick. I'm a big fan of sidechain compressing in stages. I think it sounds better, more musical. I can control it a little bit better and not get such a huge pumping effect that you're like, oh, what's going on here? Now, after I did that, I did apply some LFO tool at a half note rate. So there's even more movement going on. Right, so quite a bit of movement with that patch. Now, I did the same things with all three patches in terms of MIDI, sidechain compressed, bounce to audio, chopped up. But this is where it gets kind of interesting, the layering aspect of it. This second synth, which I believe is called Chord Mighty Duck, it has a total different kind of a style in terms of how it plays out to the ear. It has a noticeable decay to sustain ratio. So if we play this, you'll notice that it doesn't sustain forever. It's more of a stabby type sound. So that kind of blends nicely with this. It's two different energies, two different vibes. Of course, I was conscious of frequencies. I cut out a little frequencies in one that I didn't want in the other. And then you blend those together. Right? It has a really nice sound. Now, the third chord sound in this drop is actually a very weird one. It's very different from the other two. It's from a massive patch that sounds like this. I think it's called Move Along. Very gated, right? So I took out all of the lows, I sidechain compressed it, and I believe I stuck the LFO tool on it. Then I bounced that to audio. And what we have is almost like a kind of a chordal hi-hat. You'll hear it with the other chords go t-t-t-t-t at the ends of the chords. Check this out, it's pretty cool. I'll turn it up a little. Right, so that's tucked in there now. In the whole mix, you can't hear that, but you can probably feel it. All right, so that sums up our look at how I made this drop, guys. If you have any questions or comments, post them below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't checked out Grey Area yet and you're interested in having some high quality samples and presets for Grey/Z inspired music, definitely check it out. Links in the description. If you guys like this video and want to see more like it, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and hit that like button. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.